All right, guys, what is going on? This is the Club of Demand 1993 coming at you for my live review of SmackDown Live for the January 30th, 2018 edition of SmackDown Live, the fallout show from the Royal Rumble match, or Royal Rumble pay-per-view. This took place once again just 5 hours down the turnpike from me in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the Wells Fargo Center. So we are now on the road to not just WrestleMania, but first we're on the fast lane first before we get to WrestleMania. A pay-per-view that has not really impressed me too much in the 3 years that it has existed. It's kind of one of the pay-per-views I kind of wish was dropped because it just doesn't really feel that special. And it really never really has ever been that great, in my opinion. But we're going to have to get through it first. So people who, I know some people are worried that, what they're probably going to tell a story with AJ and Shinsuke and whatnot and a few other things. But, just keep in mind first, we have more pay-per-view to get through. Hopefully, the better writing will come after that pay-per-view. So let's just get through Fastlane, or as I like to call it sometimes, Fast Lane. So overall, my thoughts on SmackDown Live tonight. This is one of those episodes where nothing was bad, but it just wasn't really that great either. We had some stuff though that I did like that was pretty good. So I would say it was a decent show. Probably, I'd say it was decent. Again, anything else was about average or decent. Nothing terrible. It was just an all right show. Just a show that satisfying somewhat, but it was what it was pretty much. Anybody in the live chat? Yep. Nope. That's fine. Well, I'm sure we'll be getting some people in the live chat soon. But I'll just get started with this review, and anybody who wants to come in may come in as well. If not, let's get moving forward. Well, first off, actually, before we get started with the review, anybody watch the mixed match challenge tonight? What do you think of that? Of the that interview between Braun and Alexa at the end, when they're kind of somewhat hitting on each other a little bit and making the jokes a little bit oh, we're going to take it all the way and whatnot. And of course, with the thing that they're implying is something else hubba. But then Alexa's like, I'm gonna take you all the way to a victory because they're on charity. They're fighting for is Connor's cure. So but still they're teasing the little thing there could be something brewing between Alexa and Braun, which is not true because Alexa in real life is engaged to Buddy Murphy, and I'm pretty sure. Well, here's the thing: Buddy Murphy would not be happy about this at all. However, though, keep in mind, his competition is Braun Strowman. I'm pretty sure Buddy Murphy would get squashed by Braun anyways. But I just had to throw that out there really quick. I know no one in the live chat to hear that, but the viewers who watched afterwards, just let me know what you thought of the interview after the mixed match challenge match as well, which wasn't too bad. Also, it's Becky Lynch's birthday today, so happy birthday, Becky, as well. And then the polls, as always, are open on Twitter as well. So if you would like to, take part in those polls as well and give me your grade and which show you enjoyed this week more, Raw or SmackDown Live, go right ahead. But we'll just get on rolling here. So the show opened up with the winner of the 2018 Men's Royal Rumble match, Shinsuke Nakamura, making his way to the ring. He said the Royal Rumble, Sami Zayn needed a face. John Cena needed a face. Roman Reigns needed a face. Again, I really liked how they had both Cena and Reigns eliminated by Shinsuke because it helped put over Shinsuke. Just having Cena or Reigns eliminate each other would not have meant anything. So we had but having Shinsuke eliminate them both was awesome. So that was a good way to keep those two in the final three to make Shinsuke look really good as well. So hopefully we'll get more momentum going on this road to WrestleMania. So he saw those three, and then at WrestleMania, AJ Styles needed a face and new WWE champion as they're teasing that dream match that we're all anticipating, which I really, really hope is the main event. But then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn make their way out. But however, we did not hear them being called Cammy tonight. KO says, "Let's give it up for Shinsuke," and he says, "Now I know you're talking about how you're going to be beating AJ Styles at WrestleMania, but it should be one of us because we were screwed out of the title the other night. They should be standing tonight as the first ever co-champions." But the thing was Kevin Owens says, "I got pinned when I wasn't even the legal man," which in replay it does show that the tag was not properly made. Now they're saying once again they're still victims of their vendetta by Shane McMahon. and then Hell's his bendo on them very much. And Sammy says the referee has one job to protect the integrity of the match at all costs. And since Owens never tagged, he just got caught up in the heat of the moment and his passion, coupled with the incompetence of the referee. And any way you slice it, AJ Styles pinned the wrong man. And Owens says they have the right for another shot, and it won't be AJ and that Shinsuke will face at Mania, but it will be them. And then Nakamura fires back that Styles is a winner and they are losers, pretty much. So then AJ comes out, which again, I was expecting to hear him calling them Cammy again. He did not call them Cammy. Owens and Zayn can cry and complain all they want, but a dream match is going to happen in New Orleans on the Grand Stage of a Mall between him and Shinsuke. But right here, right now, in Philly, in the house that AJ Styles built, he wants to turn that dream match to a dream team and take on Sammy and Kevin tonight, which I just said last night. How many more main events of SmackDown are going to be tag matches, not just a solid singles match that we can get, because we get just so many tag matches between, like, the single superstars that, don't need to be in tag matches, because like I said, NXT does not really do that at all. They do the tag matches with the actual tag teams. But I'll give the main event we had for tonight was still pretty good. I liked what we got, so I will not crap on it completely. But still, I'm getting tired of these tag main events for SmackDown. So at first, Owens and Zayn leave, but then they turn around and Sammy asks if they really want this match, and they give them a nope, and they go to the apron, and then Styles and Shinsuke just clobber them down with forearms, pretty much. So it implies, the match is going to happen later on tonight. The match was made official, though, after the commercial, when Brian was in the office with Owens and Zayn, and Brian says that AJ doesn't have the power to make matches, but he does. But Brian does, and they'll thank him before they go on making the tag match that Styles proposed. And they complain about the injustice, but Brian says that the referee's decision from the match this past Sunday is final, and he watched the tape a million different angles, and yes, you're right, it was definitely a mistake, but the decision is still final. But he said that they will still be getting a title shot, because they got ripped off. But Sammy is hugging Daniel Bryan, saying thank you, this will be awesome. But Bryan mentions next week they're going to have a match, throwing a wrench between them, saying whoever wins this match will face AJ Styles at Fastlane, and that match will be, and he says in that so exciting voice, just like the voice of him saying, like, that's why I like you, Chad, you're a genius. And this time he's saying it's going to be Sammy versus Kevin Owens. And they're both just like, what? So next week, we are seeing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens go at it again for the #1 contendership. And the winner will face AJ Styles at Fastlane next month. So we will be getting that match. Well, my prediction, I'll mention it towards the end of what I think is going to happen with that match next week. So we did have some more heat not heat, but more, get built for that match, which I thought, wasn't too bad. So we'll continue on there. So then we had a fatal four-way. Wow, Cage Siders really blundered this one. It says this was for the WWE United States Intercontinental Championship. Way off there, Cage Siders. It should be a #1 contenders match for the United States Championship, but it was a fatal four-way qualifying match. The winner will face Bobby Roode next week for the United States Championship. It was Jinder Mahal taking on Kofi Kingston, Rusev, and so to surprise, Zack Ryder was getting a shot at this. So I'm like, all right. The crowd was continuing to chant for Rusev, chanting Rusev Day. My gosh, it's so over. And again, like, turn Rusev face, please, turn him face. But the match that these four put on, not too bad, I'd say. Well, Jinder didn't really do too much. Rusev was in there doing his thing. I think Rusev and Kofi were the ones that made this match what it was. Zack Ryder was just kind of there also, but Rusev and Kingston were definitely the highlights of the match. Kofi doing that trust fall. I love that move. He does that trust fall. He's like jumps like so high to the air and falls down. Kind of like how he did like that nice looking like pogo stick jump, get back into the Rumble after putting his foot on on Xavier Woods and then hitting the pancakes. That was hilarious as well. They're also throwing out pancakes to everybody during the match as well. So that was good there. And then I thought again Rusev did a good job as well. You know, he looked strong in there. But it looked like for a second that Jinder was going to hit the Colossus on Rusev also, but Rusev broke out of it. Thank goodness. I didn't want to see Jinder win. And then Rusev eventually got Kofi Kingston hooked up in the Accolade, and he got Kofi to tap out. So next week, Rusev will face Bobby Roode for the United States Championship. As far as like, you know, seeing Rusev get another title shot for the U.S. Championship, I'm happy that they gave this opportunity to Rusev. However, though, let's be honest a little bit, though. Rusev going for the United States Championship again is starting to kind of feel like Wade Barrett going for the mid-card title again. It's like, yeah, like, you know, cool, he's got it, but at this point in his career, Rusev definitely does deserve more. Like, Rusev definitely, I feel, is ready. He's done all he can to, like, when he is there in the U.S. title hunt, he's awesome. He's not really gotten that shot yet for the world title yet. And as I keep hearing the rumors, he was supposed to get it last year at during the title reign that Jinder Mahal had. That was supposed to be Rusev, and you even remember they were going to they teased Rusev saying he was not going to come back to the WWE, go to SmackDown unless he got a title opportunity at Money in the Bank. They didn't go through with it because they decided to go with the Jinder experiment instead, which Rusev getting that title reign would have been just a lot better because Rusev is actually good. He's entertaining. You know, I like Rusev. But again, like, you know, I'm all right with him getting another United States Championship shot. But once again, like, how many more times is he going to get a mid-card title shot? It's like Rusev's at a point where it's like, you know, it's like when you're watching a baseball team and you've seen them like get to the same spot in the playoffs how many times? So you want to see them get to the next step, to get to the World Series. Well, Rusev should be in the World Series right now. So he can hopefully, you know, get there soon. I don't know if I doubt he's going to win the title off of Bobby Roode next week, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Dolph Ziggler also because he showed up at the Royal Rumble number 30 on Sunday, but then he he didn't oh shoot, lost my train of thought again. But then he just showed up and he didn't even show up on SmackDown tonight. I keep hearing it's just like, you know, why did he drop the U.S. title? Shouldn't he be going like right after the U.S. title? And why isn't Baron Corbin, you know, not going after the U.S. title? He technically never got his rematch, despite, I mean, besides his tournament, him getting facing Bobby Roode in the first round of the United States Championship tournament. So I don't know, you know, why it's still weird. So I just don't know what's going on with Dolph. I don't know if he'll show up next week in the matches between Roode and Rusev, but we'll see what happens there. If anything goes down. I got an alert about my own live stream. That's quite impressive. Weird. Oh well. Actually, also before I move on, another note about the United States Championship. I don't know if any of you guys heard this, but according to a couple articles I read online earlier today, and also on a Wrestle Talks video, I heard a rumor that it was not supposed to be Mojo Rawley versus Bobby Roode for the United States Championship Open Challenge at the pre-show in the Royal Rumble. I heard they may have just done the thing with Dolph, but they ended up not doing it. Apparently, the rumors have it was supposed to be Adam Cole taking the Open US Challenge, but then they said, you know, it would be a good idea to have, you know, Cole like an idiot in like this soon already. So they decided, you know, instead, since Mojo was supposed to be in the Rumble, they switched and they had Mojo enter the Open Challenge, and they had Adam Cole in the Rumble, which honestly that was a better move, especially for Adam Cole for his own sake. Putting him in the US Open Challenge would have just been kind of stupid, unless of it like, you know, like. Hey, bring an NXT star. Make it something meaningful. Like when they brought up Sami Zayn in 2015, I think it was, 2015, to face John Cena in Montreal for Cena's US Open Challenge. Like that was special because Sami was from the hometown pretty much. And, you know, Sami was definitely ready for the main roster at the time. But the problem is with his injury, he was still finishing things up with Kevin Owens as well. But yeah, so I've talked about the United States Championship. I just want to get that out there. Apparently, Adam Cole was supposed to be answering the Open Challenge for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble. So, you know, we'll see what happens next week between Bobby Roode and Rusev. Then we had after the match we had Rusev having a quick stare down with Bobby Roode. And of course, informed her that the match will be next week. The Usos cut a promo from the backstage of the Bowlesy Arena about how they have the tag division on lock, and everyone needs to listen to what they got to say because they're coming live and live in color. Of course, after the commercial break. We came back from commercial, and we had, of course, who else would it be but Byron Saxton hyping up the Fashion Files. It seems like he's the only one who really does care about the Fashion Files anymore. Again, I used to care about the Fashion Files, but unfortunately, it's just gone downhill for them, as I keep saying. It's like, I pretty much noticed that the Fashion Files was going nowhere after their whole case didn't conclude after at Battleground last year. And then they've just been telling lies about it. It's like they're the new Emelina now, because like the whole Fashion Files is like, teasing when Emelina was gonna, re-debut or whatnot. And then they just pulled the plug on it. Now they're just, the Fashion Files is a complete joke, which is a shame because I was loving it. They were entertaining, they were awesome. Of course, also it probably would have been better if Ryan Ward was still around, but yeah, it's just unfortunate. But they had like some small segment involving the Fashion Files on SmackDown tonight, and we had Breezango the Breezango Ascension back there, pretty much putting in order their top 10 favorites of all time, which is just photos of Breezango all the way through. And then we had well, number 10 was the Ascension, and then the Ascension was also taking like their Twitter questions and whatnot to them. And then of course we had Gable and Benjamin roll up. And of course, they called them embarrassing to the division, whatnot. But then I remember Shelton Benjamin also mentioned, Fashion Files. Is that still a thing? I chuckle. I'm like, yeah, because it's true. Is it still a thing? They don't even know that anymore. Apparently, they just air on the network. They've never even gone back to check out, what actually does go on when they're on the network or anything. But yeah, because Tyler Breeze again asks about how embarrassing it was to lose to the Usos twice, and they lost in the 2 out of 3 falls match and just 2 quick falls, which again, that match was very disappointing. Hassan the Mighty, what's up, man? He says, finally finished 205 Live. Sorry, I'm extremely. Hey, man, no worries, man. Just do whatever you got to do. No worries at all, my friend. And thanks again for following me on Twitter, by the way. Gable and Benjamin asked if they think they can win tonight. But then they give them an answer saying no, and they flip over the table. So probably another table gets flipped over tonight. Well, nothing like Braun Strowman flipping over the announce table last night. But we had this flip over table and probably broke a couple pretty expensive laptops as well. So rest in peace to the laptops as well. Yeah, that just sucked. Well, that sucked for the laptops. The segment was like what it was. Then we had the Usos make their way to the ring, and they said if this is a city of brotherly love, they want some love for the tag champs. They said they were gonna get silly in Philly, and on Sunday they beat Gable and Benjamin 2-0. But it ain't new because they've been sweeping through the divisions since they came to SmackDown Live. Like I said, roll call: American Alpha, lockdown; American Alpha 2, lockdown; Hype Bros, lockdown; Breezango, lockdown; New Day, lockdown; Sheamus and Cesaro, who aren't even on SmackDown, are behind bars. They got like shoving these like weird looking like bar graphics, on the screen as well. So that was something corny that they did tonight with those graphics. So everybody was on lockdown pretty much. When I say day one, it's not about moving merch. It's a lifestyle about being 100 and true to yourself. The struggle to wake up in the morning, get good grades, any struggle you go through, but it only makes you stronger, and that's why they struggle together. And that makes them different from every tag team in the locker room because they share their struggle and only get stronger together because they're brothers. It doesn't matter whether you're from the club, the bar, the Shield, or if you're brothers yourself. They're not saying they're the best tag team, but they are the best tag team. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. And as they go to leave, the Bludgeon Brothers music hits, which I call that music in terms the music I listen to when I am angry and not in a good mood. Literally, that is my new. It used to be Mark Henry's song. Now it is the Bludgeon Brothers theme song. So they come out have like a stare down. So it's probably teasing a match at Fastlane, probably between those two. It was good to see the Bludgeon Brothers. We haven't seen them in a couple weeks. Also, they're supposed to have a match like a couple weeks ago, but they didn't do it. I can't remember what it was supposed to be. So once again, another lie. Hassan the Mighty says Sammy will be KO, then lose to Shinsuke. lose to Shinsuke? You mean are you referring to losing the Styles or something else? Are you referring to something else? Just clarify what you mean there, please, buddy. Um, but um, but yeah, I will definitely talk about what I think is going to happen, what I can see happening for that match as well. So they make their way down to the ring. The Usos walk out as well. So then we had a squash match with the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan. Just what we've been seeing them do. Just pretty much destroy everybody in their paths. Just destroy them, beat them down, whatnot. That's all that pretty much wrote for them. The Bludgeon Brothers winning with a double crucifix powerbomb, and it says doesn't have a name for one of the wrestlers. The other one is Rory Gulak. One who's related to Drew at all. Excuse me. Then we had Daniel Bryan getting on a handy cam and talking. We having all these weird, handy cam promos lately, which not too bad. It's something different. Can work in. It's not too bad as well. I would say. Daniel Bryan. Somehow they're always trying to make the show more interesting and engaging. So he's introducing an official top 10 that will be voted on by the roster. There are a few ground rules. The first is that he and Shane won't have votes, and the other rule is that you can't vote for yourself. And of course, he's very excited about it. So don't know what this is really going to do, but whatever. We'll see what it is. A top 10 as well. So probably just ways to try to make the just top 10 will we'll see whatever that does for it at all. Hassan Might says, oops, I meant to say at Fastlane. That's completely fine. He'll probably lose the Styles at Fastlane. If that's the case, yeah, probably, because I just want to see AJ and Shinsuke so bad. I mean, Sammy and Shinsuke, if they can pull off the match they had at NXT TakeOver Dallas in 2016, cool, go for it. Other than that, not going to top it off. Then I still rather see Shinsuke and AJ, definitely. So then we have Shane McMahon, though, on the phone in his office talking about how great the Rumble was, which, again, the Royal Rumble was great. And Ty Dillinger rolls up, and he mentions that the other day he'd be all about a top 10 list, but he's here to talk about the Rumble. It was a chance for WrestleMania that was taken away from him, which is true because he was beat down by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn before he was able to make his entrance. But then Baron Corbin rolls up and talks about how about Bryan handing another opportunity to Owens and Zayn, which despite the fact that he's having them face each other, he's still giving Owens and Zayn yet another opportunity. She says he agrees he'll talk to Bryan about it, and Corbin asks if he's changed his last name or if he's still in charge and a McMahon. And then Ty busts in and asks Corbin if he's still here, to which Dillinger says he's here, but Baron's Money in the Bank briefcase isn't. Of course, this cute team to get on him just so you don't want to piss off Baron Corbin. But Shane says they sell things in the ring and makes a match between them, which I'll talk about the match in a little bit. This concept, that kind of bugs me also. But we're going to be getting the match later between Ty Dillinger and Baron Corbin. We saw that quite enough when they were feuding for the United States Championship, when AJ had it before he dropped the Corbin at Hell in a Cell. So then we have Charlotte making her way down to the arena. Charlotte is talking about the Women's Royal Rumble. She was really proud to watch history being made, but as she sat there, it was the first time in her career she didn't want to be champion. She wanted to be in the ring with all those legends, see if she could hold her own, and maybe I'll ask everyone from number 3, like some guy she knows. Sparkle is just referring to Ric Flair winning the Royal Rumble from number 3 spot in the 1992 Royal Rumble match. Still probably the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. And then the moment came. She was in the ring with Alexa Bliss and Asuka, and then Ronda Rousey. All she knows is that she's walking to WrestleMania Smackdown Women's Champion, but who's standing across from her in New Orleans is it? And then we had the Riot Squad enter. And Ruby Riot tells her to forget about Asuka and Ronda. Does Charlotte hear herself? Her ego is as big as her father's. Of course, she thinks she'd win the Rumble, and of course, she thinks she can pick her opponent at WrestleMania. Ruby's known people like her at every stage of her career, incredibly talented and incredibly entitled. But there's only one Ruby Riot, the way she talks, looks, and acts. But Flair is just a cheap imitation of her father. The Riot Squad get into the ring, and Ruby continues saying that Charlotte's time is over, and it's up to her. She won't make it to WrestleMania. And then Flair asks, "Are you done yet?" And then just woos her. And then we get yet another brawl with Charlotte and the Riot Squad. I thought we'd see Becky and Naomi come out, but they didn't come out. But they came out, they started beating down on her, and at first Charlotte got to give her hand until she took her jacket off and they want to go at it. But then they cleared the ring. They got back into the ring, and then they managed to pretty much get the numbers game on her. There was a basement super kick to lay her down the way. Logan hit that cartwheel knee drop, which I am so sorry. I really do not like that finisher from Sarah Logan. A big, powerhouse like she is. Like, she definitely needs a more dangerous, more better finisher than just that cartwheel with that knee drop. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of that move. It looks weak. I just don't really like it. I do see the potential against Sarah Logan, and I do think, all three of these women are talented. It's just, the role they're playing, again, why are they here? I mean, Liv Morgan maybe needed a little more time. Sarah Logan just finished the Mae Young Classic. I know she was part of the NXT roster longer than I could remember as well, but I feel like, she could use a little bit more time as well, just to develop out a little bit. And then, Ruby Riott, I really think at this point they're going to go with Ruby Riott versus Charlotte at Fastlane, which I guess is all right, because I think out of the three of them, Ruby's definitely the one that's probably the most ready for the main roster. Like, she's pretty strong contender at this point already, but definitely not going to beat Charlotte. So I'd say they're going to go after each other. But to me, it's still just, I don't know, it just does not seem really anything, spectacular at this point yet. The Riott Squad, they're just an imitation of Absolution, in my opinion, which they're, again, not going anywhere without Paige, in my opinion. But yeah, so they were beaten down, and they each hit their finishers on Charlotte. So they're leaving, and then I do not know why, but I completely forgot about this was on the horizon. Carmella's be the case. I think, wait, why is Carmella coming? Also, I'm like, oh, that's right. She's missed Money in the Bank, because they didn't really tease much of her cashing in for quite some time. But Carmella's running down to the arena. I'm like, is she cashing in? Really? Are they going to swerve us here? So Carmella's going to cash in. She hands the briefcase to the referee, and it looks like he's about to, hand it off and, make the match official. But then Charlotte's about to get up, so Carmella goes to, drop kick Charlotte, but instead she nails the referee right in the rear end and knocks him out of the ring. And then when she realized that Charlotte, was like, back to her senses, Carmella gets out of the ring and, runs for it. It's like, nope, not today, not happening. So unfortunately, the plan for Carmella to cash was aborted, but I did kind of like seeing that, because it's like, okay, she has this briefcase, it's been around, but when's she going to actually cash it in? After seeing a tease tonight, I mean, it's obvious that either Charlotte's going to be facing either Asuka or Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Of course, so the thing is, though, if Asuka faces Charlotte and Ronda, there's rumors of Ronda being possibly involved in a mixed tag match with either The Rock or Braun Strowman as her partner against Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. But of course, if that's the case, and Charlotte chooses to face, and Asuka chooses to face Charlotte, then who would face the Raw Women's Champion? That would be a little confusing, unless if they somehow pull off a Bayley and Sasha Banks match if Sasha wins the Chamber. But then again, the problem is, Bayley's not built up enough yet to get back into that contention for the title, in my opinion. So maybe not that way, but we'll see where it goes. But I definitely think we're going to get Charlotte versus Ruby Riott at Fastlane in March, or what I call again Fastlane. So that was what that happened. But again, if anything, also, I do not want to see Carmella fail her cash in. If anything, she'll probably either cash in at WrestleMania or the SmackDown after WrestleMania. I think that's when she can cash in. She can cash in on Ronda Rousey for all I care. That would, put some good heat on Carmella as well. I mean, Carmella's not been a complete flop as Miss Money in the Bank, but definitely could be better than what she's been with so far as Miss Money in the Bank. So, we'll see what happens. But my prediction is Carmella will cash in either at WrestleMania or at the SmackDown after WrestleMania. So that's my prediction there. Backstage, we had Shinsuke warming up when AJ Styles comes up and asks him about the plan for tonight, and Shinsuke just keeps saying he's going to beat him at WrestleMania, and AJ again is asking Nakamura, for a plan for tonight, and then AJ's like, okay, are you messing with me? And Shinsuke says he was messing with him, and they'll be fine out there as long as AJ listens to him. So AJ looked a little bit confused. So, it's still kind of early, but again, teasing a little bit of tension. We didn't really get any tension between Styles and Nakamura tonight, but hopefully we'll get some tension down the road. Even if it's just a face-on-face match at WrestleMania, which I think is what they're going to go with. And I would kind of rather see that at this point because, that everybody wants to see the match pretty much. So I feel like, that would be the best route to go, keeping it a face-on-face match with AJ and Shinsuke, with Shinsuke winning the title, of course, but it should still be a pretty darn good match. We had an interview backstage, Carmella, asking about, her near cash-in, said that what just happened was bad luck. She spins it like she was just trying to show Charlotte that she can strike at any time, and she'd never dream of cashing in with a broken nail. But it was obvious that, Carmella was going to cash in until she realized her plan backfired. So that's what happened there. Then we had the match between Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger. Hadn't seen this match since the Hell in a Cell build. Match was all right, nothing too special. But the thing that just bothered me about it is, okay, look at the story here. You had Ty Dillinger going in, and he had a good, reason to, say, hey, I never got into the Royal Rumble match. It was not my fault because Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens took me out. So, obviously he deserves some type of, second chance since, he was taken out for no reason at all. Baron Corbin, who was taken out of the match, was started complaining because, he's like, oh, they're giving, Owens and Zayn title opportunity again, but, I'm not getting anything. Well, then he was eliminated pretty quickly after entry number 4 in the Royal Rumble match. So Shane makes a match between these two, but in the long run, are they really getting anything, out of it? Like, it just boggles my mind a little bit. I'm just like, okay, like, why aren't they, why is nothing like, why isn't, getting at least, a U.S. title opportunity, or like, if they want to make the Fastlane match like a fatal 4-way or a triple threat match, if either Zayn and Owens both get it or just one of them get it, like, why is, like, why, what's the prize here, pretty much? Why are they fighting? Are they going to get nothing out of winning this match? I mean, we could see what happens next week as well, since Corbin, won tonight. Oh, hi, Lauren. I'm sorry if I missed your chats. But yes, thank you for tuning in live as always, Lauren. Always great having you on. But yeah, so I just don't quite get why, they again, they had this match, and they do this a lot. They have all these matches, but like, what are they going to gain behind it? Other than, us, like a newer wrestler or whatnot, like starting on a new path of momentum. But this made no sense. Again, Ty went in, like, making his case. Corbin came in making his case, even though Ty had definitely obviously had a better case than Corbin. But they have a match, and like, what are they going to get out of it? I don't know. We'll see what happens down the line. What happens in the next few weeks again. Not expecting too much since, Fastlane's never usually, can it just please get rid of that pay-per-view, because it never really capitalized. Like Elimination Chamber, even though I feel like they could save it for another time in the year, all right, because at least usually they have good build for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-views usually. But Fastlane, nah, not between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Yeah, it's just nah. Oh well. But anyways, the match still between Corbin and Dillinger, despite not really having anything on the line, was all right. But Corbin wins. But again, what's it going to lead to? I don't know. Then we had Rusev Day on the Handycam again, doing a promo about how next week they can only end with a victory on Rusev Day, and Rusev tells Bobby Roode that Tuesday is his swan song as champion because he'll Machka. And then Bobby Roode gets on the Handycam, and he circles Rusev Day on a calendar, but notes that when you're champion, your schedule fills up quickly, and he just pretty much writes glorious on the full week. So will next week be absolutely glorious, or we'll be having celebrating Rusev Day with a championship celebration. So yeah, definitely. Live chat still nothing from Hassan or Lauren yet. That's all right. But continuing on, we had this is where something's starting a little interesting. We had Sami and Kevin backstage in the locker room getting ready for their match, and they're not really talking to her. And Sami mentions that the good news is that one of them will be getting a title shot, but it's a shame they have to wrestle each other. But hey, opportunity is all they ever need. Owens says, yeah, unless he fails. And Sami mentions, about Owens getting pinned last night. And Owens shoots back saying Sami got eliminated from the Rumble so quickly. And then Sami's like, well, at least tonight we won't fail because, you know, we're in each other's corners. And Owens says that he won't fail tonight. So starting to tease the tension between you two. Again, that moment of truth. I kind of hope we would have gotten a little bit of that at the Royal Rumble 7 saying we're going to be co-champions. Like, you know, because it's pretty darn obvious, you know, like with Kevin Owens' reputation, you know, what they said when Kevin and Sami first started teaming up again is pretty much true. Kevin Owens, you know, is going to do whatever he can to get the title opportunity that to get what he wants. And he even has to, you know, manipulate others. That's what he will do. That's what he did to Chris Jericho. So he'd probably do this to Sami Zayn once again. But this is at least, you know, heating Sami Zayn back up and getting him back, you know, on like a more serious track that they would turn him face next week or whatnot down the line. Then cool. Like, you know, they've gotten him back on track and most part. He's having that position on SmackDown Live where he should have been a few months ago, or when he first came to SmackDown Live after the Superstar shakeup. So yeah, we'll see what happens next week, but we still have our main event to talk about shortly. We got an ad for the new WWE 24 special with for WrestleMania in Orlando last year, which if you haven't seen yet, I do recommend it. It's definitely worthwhile watching. You do hear some, you know, backstage stories about some things as well. So I do, you know, recommend seeing it. I did enjoy it when I saw it, so hopefully you guys will do the same thing. We had hype for who's going to be the new 205 Live general manager tonight, which ends up being oh crap, a Rockstar Spud. Well, he's introduced. I forgot what his name was, but I just peeked at 205 Live. But sorry guys, I cannot get into 205 Live. It's just so tough for me. So I was like, all right, Rockstar Spud's here, whatever. Since we got that, then we had Breezango taking on Gable and Benjamin. The match that, you know, wasn't much to expect for, but you know, it's pretty much, you know, Breezango just continuing to go back downhill again, getting squashed by Gable and Benjamin. Pretty much they beat them pretty quickly. Whatever, it was what it was. Wasn't atrocious, but you know, it was what it was. But yeah, we that's what we got there. And then we had our main event. It was AJ Styles taking on Shinsuke. I mean, AJ versus Shinsuke. Not yet. You can tell I'm a little tired, guys, but not yet. But we had them teaming up tonight. Hold on a second. It's typing a lot of chat. So we had AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura teaming up to take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which I'm surprised they were never called Cammy tonight, which is kind of good because I thought that name was a little bit corny for the two of them. It was a little humorous, but it was just strange. But anyways, the match they had, you know, was not too bad. The main story of this match, though, I mean, they didn't really tease much tension with AJ Styles or Shinsuke Nakamura. But they were teasing, you know, the tension between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And it was, you know, going down that concept. I mean, it's strange as it may have been because, you know, Sami Zayn had a mixed match challenge match with Becky Lynch against Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss tonight after hold on, let me finish this live chat here. I think Lauren's a little off track here. Anyways, but yeah, so I don't know if they did it just because, you know, Sammy had the mixed match challenge match with Becky, but it still plays in well. They know they do face each other next week. So hopefully this wasn't just because of the mixed match challenge stuff. Hopefully, you know, it was because, you know, of a little bit more. But anyways, so we throughout the match, like, you know, Owens and Zayn were like, you know, tagging each other in, but Owens was like kind of like being a little bossy and telling Sammy, you know, when to do what. Like, you know, hey, tag me in or let me in, and Sammy's like, I got this. So like, and you know what? I do like how at times where you do get to hear, you know, what they're saying to each other in the ring, because it does, you know, add more to the match. Like, you know, Chris Jericho, when he's a heel, like really, you know, adds in hearing what he has to say in the match as well, makes it even better as well. But they continue to, you know, just like, you know, had that tension built between them. And then there was a moment in the match, I remember, where Nakamura threw Zayn like over to the other side, and then Owens came into the match, but he starts yelling at Sammy, saying, why aren't you in the corner to tag me in? And Sammy's like, he threw me out over here, and Owens pretty much saying, you're not in the corner when I'm ready for you to be tagged in. So pretty much, once again, Owens is, taking the lead, and it made pretty obvious that, where they're going with this direction. Lauren in the live chat says, I know I didn't get a chance to see SmackDown. I was working at home about 30 minutes ago. Oh, wow. Late shift. So now who will be the face, Sammy or Owens? And I meant main event. I meant main event now is where what I was talking about right now when I sent that chat. I wasn't sure if like the stream got behind or something like that. Yeah, no Nikki, no Ronda, or no Orton tonight. I will talk about that. Hassan the Mighty thinks that they will break up them up again, and Sammy is the face again. I'll get to my thoughts again on that at the end. But yeah, we didn't get Nikki, Ronda, or Orton at all tonight. No Ronda at all this week. I was very surprised we did not get Ronda Rousey at all this week, like appearing either on Raw or SmackDown. So I don't know, maybe they're saving her for later date or whatnot. I'm not sure. I don't know why she didn't appear on either show this week. But anyways, so we had Owens yelling at Sammy for being on the floor, not there. But then that's when things started getting heating up. First it looked like Sammy was going to walk out on Owens, but then he stuck around after commercial. But again, it's continuing. Owens wants to be tagged in whenever he wants. So then finally, Sammy got sick of it. He tagged himself out, and he says, "Here, you take care of it all you want." So he went to the back and just continued to watch the match backstage. And Owens and Nakamura and Styles would end up, just double teaming on Owens most of the rest of the match, and they won by having Shinsuke hitting the Kinshasa on the Owens to pick up the victory. As Styles and Owens pick up the victory, and they no tension between them. I honestly thought, and again, this is me going a little bit out of my mind a little bit. I honestly thought what was going to happen is with Sammy leaving Owens' side, and since Orton had not been seen on the show tonight, I thought that maybe we could have seen Orton come out and interfere and attack Nakamura or something like that. Because again, it would. I want to see I think the best route for a good match for Nakamura Fastlane again would be for Nakamura to face like somebody like Orton, which again they had good chemistry with their match back in their qualifying match for number one contendership for the title match of Hell in a Cell last fall. But I feel like, if Orton's, maybe a little bit jealous of, Nakamura's success and whatnot and attention he's been getting. So, I want to have them face off with Shinsuke's Royal Rumble victory on the line at Fastlane, or even if it's not a Fastlane, on a SmackDown before WrestleMania or something like that. I thought maybe since, Sammy left, but it was just, the story, maybe based on the story with Kevin and Sammy, which again, I was cool with. I liked what we saw there. Let's see here. Let's go there. Let me see. Okay, Sammy just turned heel. Why turn him face 2 months later? Hassan the Mighty gotta leave now. Gonna go sleep. Oh, sorry, man. We'll see you tomorrow. Nikki, I wasn't sure it was if Nikki was gonna show up. I wasn't sure if it was just a one-off thing right now, but. If she would have came back, that's awesome. I wouldn't mind seeing Nikki back full time again, but I wasn't sure if it was a one-time thing. I wasn't completely expecting her to be Orton. I still was surprised was not there. I don't know if I want to see Sammy and Owens feud though. Nakamura and Orton would be fire. But Nakamura's botched a lot. Yeah, I know he does have a hard time. Sometimes he doesn't sell too well either. She's rooting for AJ. That's completely fine as well. I would be all right with AJ still winning over Nakamura as well. Either way, the match is still. I just want to see just the match in general is going to be a pretty darn good match. But continuing on here, yeah. So afterwards, we do get an interview with Sammy backstage, watching the monitors. He's interviewed. He's asking if it's the end of their friendship, and Sammy says, "Nope, this is about the opportunity next week." And Owens has had his opportunities, but Sammy has been overlooked. And it's his time. People call Owens Kevin's best friend, and next week they're going to call him the guy who beat Kevin Owens, and then he's going to be the guy who beat AJ Styles to become WWE champion. So you can kind of say go either way. I'd say whether or not having Sammy either as face or heel. I don't know which way they'll go. I mean, probably Sammy's more meant to be a baby face. I mean, I know they had just turned Sammy heel. I mean, I wasn't sure how long this was going to last. I mean, it's worked out great for Sammy as a heel, but like from seeing his time down NXT, Sammy definitely I still feel should be a strong baby face contender. But they are not. They didn't do much with him when he was. Again, he beat Kevin Owens in their rivalry in 2016. Yet Owens went on to be Universal Champion a month later, and Sammy just got bumped down to the pre-show. That didn't quite make sense either. But if this is heel turn just to get Sammy, like fired up again, then cool. They want to make him a babyface again, go after the championship, cool. But honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if something happened last week where like they both there's not a clean finish or something like that, and they both end up in the match at Fastlane. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if it was like a triple threat between Owens, Zayn, and Styles, which not completely for. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing just Sammy and AJ because the past couple matches they've had on SmackDown within the past couple of weeks, I thought they were very well together. And again, I still go back to that match they had in 2016. They had a match on Raw right before Payback. And if Sammy would have beaten AJ, he would have been added to the match between Roman and AJ at Payback that year. I thought that was a pretty darn good match. So definitely some interesting stuff between them. Let me see here. Let's go up here. Did you see that there will be a women's chamber match? Yes, I am very excited. We're looking forward to that. Where was Shane? Was he there? He was there. He was backstage. He was on the phone. But then when Ty came up to him mentioning his issue of not being in the Rumble last night. But then Corbin came up. He was upset, saying that how Brian's given the opportunity for either Owens or Zayn yet again. He's like, I should be getting the opportunity, even though he got eliminated pretty quickly in the Rumble. So they had the match between Dillinger and Corbin, which again, like, it was. For what it was all right. But once again, like, nobody really, like, what was the prize? Like, whoever won the match, what are they going to get? Like, are they going to, insert, Corbin into like the championship match or something like that since he won? Like, I'm not sure. But yeah, Shane was there. Do you think Sammy should stay heel or turn face? I mean, his heel run's definitely been excellent, but I still think, he's meant to be a babyface. He's been a babyface pretty much his whole entire career. What do you think about Dolph being back? Dolph, I mean, like, I still find it strange because, he dropped the U.S. title, and I've heard that rumor they're trying to, pull off a story similar to what happened between Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels for WrestleMania 10, leading to that ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. But Dolph just came back and, he entered the Rumble, and he wasn't there tonight. So, I mean, I don't know if he's going to show up next week in the U.S. title match between Bobby Roode and Rusev, but it was definitely confusing. But, I mean, like, in ways, Dolph Ziggler, if he's not going to get any other push in WWE, he definitely deserves to go off to, like, New Japan Pro Wrestling or whatnot. Because, once again, Cody and Brandy Rhodes proved that they can go somewhere else and become successful as they should be. So, I mean, I feel like, Dolph just, if you're not going to give him the opportunity, he definitely is just looking maybe going somewhere else. I mean, I love Dolph, but for his own benefit, if the WWE won't be pushing him. Because to me, they turned him heel last year, which I liked. But to me, they just turned him heel just to show like what exactly they want us to think of him, and not be anything, unfortunately. Which I know Dolph is talented; he's awesome, but they just won't give him a chance. But just a weird booking there. She never really liked Sammy. Yeah, he's talented, but I just don't see the hype of him. That is fine. I'm calling a Sammy versus Owens feud at WrestleMania. I mean, they are worthy of having a WrestleMania match, most definitely. My dream match for this would be an I Quit match. I keep saying this. At SummerSlam 2016, that's when they should have culminated their feud in SummerSlam 2016. I mean, their match at Battleground was great. I was fine with how the match ended, but I wanted them to have one more match at a Big Four pay-per-view at SummerSlam, an I Quit match. Because think about it, at the time, they were both on the same brand. Well, they still are. They were both on Raw. And I felt it was weird putting Sammy on Raw. I thought he should have been put on SmackDown when the draft first happened. So I thought, well, what if they have an I Quit match, and the loser of that match goes to the other brand? That's what I thought should happen there. But then definitely at WrestleMania is definitely most worthy. Do you think we still may hear AJ versus Shinsuke at Mania, though? Because there's still Fastlane. They better do AJ versus Shinsuke. That would be pretty darn good. I mean, AJ versus Sammy, or again, they had their great match at TakeOver Dallas in 2016. But you know, if they can't top that off, I would so much rather see AJ versus Shinsuke. You know, the hype is there. You know, like everything's right there. I think I would rather see that happen. But yeah, hopefully we'll get through that boring pay-per-view. Is Ty heel or face? I'm confused. Ty is still a baby face, but I have had heard rumors he had been acting as a heel on house shows recently. So the rumors they may actually bring him into being a heel on TV as well. So I'd be interested in seeing how that goes. I'm assuming Rusev is a face since he faced Jinder. Well, Rusev was in a fatal four-way actually. So Rusev, I mean, despite the good reaction, Rusev is still a heel, but he was in a fatal four-way with Zack Ryder, Jinder himself, and Kofi Kingston, and the winner faces Bobby Roode for United States Championship next week, which Rusev won, but he's still a heel. Becky was not in the on the show, the main show tonight, but she was in the mixed match challenge match with Sammy against Asuka and Braun. Mania predictions. Want to hear mine? Go for them, Lauren. What are yours? I will post mine tomorrow. I will definitely post mine tomorrow. I'm still thinking those out, but I will definitely post mine tomorrow. Everyone who was in the Rumble wasn't there tonight. Why? I just found that weird. I mean, besides some of the surprises, definitely a few others definitely that should have been there were not there, but yeah, definitely strange. Elimination Chamber predictions. Fastlane predictions. Let me see here. Elimination Chamber, you know, obviously the chamber match. Let me see here. We have Braun, we have Cena, we have Braun, Cena, and Elias. I think definitely Roman's gonna be added in there. I guess say the Miz, and then I really don't know who that last spot's gonna get. Unless they do either a second chance opportunity for like Balor or Hardy or Bray Wyatt, or whatnot. Unless if like they could put either Rollins or Jordan or someone from the bar in the chamber as well. Even though we may see a tag title match there also. So I'm not 100% sure of the chamber. The women's chamber, Alexa, Nia, Sasha, Bailey, Mickey, and then if Paige is not good to go, then probably somebody from Absolution. I'd rather see. I don't want to see Dana Brooke or Alicia Fox. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose probably wouldn't be ready for that. So I'd say that. I had a couple already, but I'm still thinking a few more. I'll definitely make my print the cards for all those pay-per-views this week as well. Fastlane predictions. As of now, I will say definitely. I'll bring the triple threat between Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and AJ for the championship, with AJ retaining. Orton and Nakamura, I'd like to see that. Usos versus Bludgeon Brothers. Maybe Bobby Roode versus Rusev, or Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler, one of the two for the United States Championship. Other than that, I'm not too sure about other ones, but those are a few I'd say come to mind. Do you think there will be another Superstar Shakeover draft after Mania? Yes. AJ versus Shinsuke won't main event Mania, sadly. Yeah, because it's probably going to be Brock and Roman, but whatever. At least we're still getting AJ versus Shinsuke. Do you think Mysterio's back, or was it a one-off thing? I think it was a one-off thing. I really thought that maybe they brought Ray back to be the general manager for 205 Live, but nope, it was Rockstar Spud in the end. So I'm guessing Ray's not back. I've heard rumors that he would come back, but he only wants to be on a part-time schedule. And I guess the WWE wants him on a full-time schedule for some reason. But yeah, who do you think will face Bobby for the U.S. title? Definitely. Well, next week is Rusev for sure. But I mean, I keep hearing rumors about Dolph Ziggler, him and Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match, which I don't want to see Bobby Roode in a ladder match. But I've heard rumors also of Bobby Roode taking on Orton also for the U.S. title at Mania, which wouldn't be too bad either. We want to give that a chance as well. Lauren's Mania predictions are AJ Nakamura, Roman and Brock, Rollins and Jordan, Miz versus Balor, Dolph versus Bobby, Usos taking on the New Day, Rusev Day, Gable and Benjamin, the Bar versus Gallows and Anderson, Tika, wow, Cena versus Taker, nice, Sam versus Owen, Orton versus AJ versus Nakamura, maybe we could possibly see that, Matt versus Matt versus Bray, Sasha versus Bailey, Alexa versus Asuka, Ronda and Rock versus Steph and Triple H. And Jill said Orton can't think of anyone for him, to be honest. Yeah, again, besides him facing Bobby Roode for the U.S. title or something like that, not just sure where what else other route they would go for him unless he enters the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which, again, no offense, that really has not been that big of a hit really in the first 3 years. I mean, the first one was good with Cesaro winning. That one was good. Second year should have been Mizdow, but Big Show won it. But Big Show was destined to probably win one anyways. When Corbin won it, it was fine, but now Corbin's gone downhill. But the match still wasn't really that great. Last year's was meh with Gronk in there. I'm helping Mojo win, and Jinder Mahal was second to last. I mean, I don't mind Mojo, but it's just like it just didn't really leave him anything. So it's just like it'd be nice to have that battle royale actually led somewhere for anyone. Or Cena could face Joe or Elias. Would rather have Joe. I mean, if they do Cena and Elias, just not at WrestleMania. I mean, I like Elias. I know you don't really, Lauren, but Elias to me is not ready to be in a big headline match at WrestleMania. Orton better not be the Andre the Giant. Yeah, I definitely agree there. But honestly, like I'm trying to think what else they would do for him. But he definitely deserves to be on the card somehow. Oh boy, let me think here. Orton, not sure. And if they did that triple threat idea you said, I'd rather be just AJ versus Shinsuke. Triple H versus Kurt Angle could also happen, and Ronda versus Charlotte. Oh yeah, also just Kane versus Braun at Mania. I guess if it's Kane's last match maybe or something, I guess go for it. Yeah. Also, Lauren, I don't know if you caught it. Also, about at SmackDown, Carmella did tease a cash in also on Charlotte. And I mentioned earlier how Charlotte. I mean Carmella. I feel the best time for her to cash in at this point would either be at WrestleMania if Charlotte does face Ronda, or if it's Charlotte and Becky facing each other, or the night after, or the SmackDown after WrestleMania. I definitely think so. That should happen. Orton needs to move to Raw. Yes, I think he could use some fresh opponents as well to feud with. So I definitely agree with him going to Raw. Cena needs better feuds too. Yes, definitely. I mean, I think they were going to go with him and Joe until Joe got hurt. But I really think Joe's going to be back for Mania. So why not start something up with him and Joe? At least have this feud between him and Elias leads to this, stuff between them that's going to happen. Them at the Chamber having a comment their feud on Raw or something like that. Just don't make that a WrestleMania. I like Cena and Elias. Not. I mean, again, I like Elias once again, but not ready yet for a big match at WrestleMania like that. But yeah, thank you, Lauren, for your questions as well. She wants to see Carmella catching at WrestleMania. I'd be all for that. But yeah, I mean, if you have any more questions for me, Lauren, I'll gladly answer them. But while I wait, I'll get the plugs in. She does not want to see Finn versus Miz. At this, I mean, what else? I was curious. What else would you like to see? I mean, I actually kind of do want to see that match, but just curious. What other ideas would you have for Finn Balor? Let me hear those as well. I think that'd be the best route for Finn to go, in my opinion, at this point at least. But they could have something else up the sleeve. Or I want to see what Lauren has to say because she has good ideas. But who would you love to see battle at WrestleMania? Well, definitely Nakamura and Styles. Like dream matches for WrestleMania. And Elimination Chamber and Fastlane. I mean, besides my predictions, I'm trying to think of who else I'd like to see go at it. We haven't really talked about. Not sure. Of course, always, Lauren, you're awesome. But any dream matches? Well, I mean, I wish we could have seen Taker and Sting for sure. And definitely wish other matches for Taker. Well, maybe him and Cena at WrestleMania. A lot of people think that's past its time. Finn Balor versus Undertaker would have been great. I know you don't watch NXT, but I would love to see Aleister Black versus Finn Balor. Joe versus Cena. Batista versus Joe, or Batista versus Braun. That who else has Orton really not faced that I could think of? I can't really think of any more matches with Brock that or dream matches of mine, because Brock's run his his core. Like Sammy and Kevin definitely deserve to have a WrestleMania match. Another bridge for WrestleMania. I want to see Cedric Alexander and Hideo Itami for the cruiserweight title, even though they deserve better than that. Do you think Batista could be at WrestleMania, could surprise us? It's possible. You think Michelle McCool is back? I don't think she is. But it was nice. It was definitely nice to see her at the Rumble. Does Lesnar's contract expire this year? I've heard rumors it expires after Mania, but for some reason they still have rights for him until like SummerSlam or something. But I just hope he's done after Mania because I'm done with Brock. Who do you think will be the female inductee this year? I've heard rumors of maybe Ivory, possibly. So if anything, that could be a case. Maybe they could go with, like, they want to give it to Michelle or Melina or anybody like that. I think that at this point, the best one will probably, the highest point will probably be Ivory for my female inductant. I was definitely happy that the Dudley Boys got into the Hall of Fame. I'm still disappointed because I went to SummerSlam in 2015 and I already went back home, the day later because I started on my semester the next day. I could have been there for the night they made their big return in 2015. I was so disappointed when I came back home and I saw them. I'm like, I could have been there. But yeah, definitely glad that they got into the Hall of Fame as well. Yes, China. I keep forgetting it. China deserves it as well, just with her controversy or whatnot here. That's what's kept her out of the Hall of Fame. But I definitely think she deserves it as well. While I'm waiting for, if you have any more questions, you can definitely ask me. But while I wait, I will. And yeah, okay. I keep saying I'm going to get next, but you always have these questions I want to answer. But Lauren says, haha, yeah, you can't stand Brock either. Again, I was fine with Brock, and then. Well, first off, after I realized, how lazy he looked in that match with Ambrose at WrestleMania 32, and then just the way he beat Braun at No Mercy, I was just like, why else I want to watch this guy wrestle if he beat, his biggest threat like that easily like that? I'm just like, I don't care. I mean, I'll give it to him and AJ had a good match at Survivor Series, but other than that, I'm just like, I'm just done with Brock. Moving on, please, from Brock. That's what I want to. WWE been doing the top stars dirty since last year, definitely. But yeah, I guess while I see if Lauren has any more questions now, I will go to my polls on Twitter. What grade would you give this week's episode of SmackDown Live? At 10 votes, 20% said A, 40% said B, 20% said C, 20% said D. And for 8 votes of what show did you enjoy more this week, Raw or SmackDown Live, I had 63% say Raw, 37% say SmackDown Live. I gotta kind of agree. I'll give it to Raw for this week. I definitely think it was Raw, and I definitely think SmackDown again was, everything was at least average to, not bad at all. So I'll give it a C+ for a decent show. Let me see here. Lauren says, can't believe WWE is making Brock champ for a year. Yeah, I was fine with the feud he had with Goldberg, but I just didn't think getting the title involved was necessary at all. I was hoping they would have, even though the title reign was bad, I was hoping they would have kept the title on Kevin Owens at least and had him and Jericho feud for the Universal title instead for the United States Championship at Mania last year. And then she said it didn't see SmackDown. I can't really give it a grade. I understand. And she didn't really see Raw either. Raw was good this week. I guess WWE isn't pulling the trigger on the Daniel Bryan heel turn. I mean, they still kind of, tease something with then again, giving, Owens and Zayn a another opportunity, but it does seem like there is some tension going on between Bryan and Shane still, but it's kind of dying off a little bit. So hopefully it does pick back up as we get closer to Fastlane. I really thought we would get to a next level with that handicap match at the Royal Rumble, but then we got nothing between them at all. I also missed your comment of WWE is that they're not abiding by the 30-day rule. Yep. Again, I don't get why they keep mentioning it here and there. You think Jericho will turn at Mania? I don't know if it will turn at Mania. I've heard rumors of him possibly having a run this summer, maybe. So maybe after Mania, we may see Jericho back. But of course, I would love to see Jericho back as always, because I have the list. Yeah, I heard rumors that Fozzy may be coming out this way to Pittsburgh also. So maybe if it's there, maybe I'll catch a ticket and go see Fozzy because his music is actually pretty darn good. Um, Elimination Chamber and Fastlane better be lit just like the Rumble. I definitely think Elimination Chamber is going to be good. Fastlane, though, I don't have the highest expectations for because there's really not much going right now for SmackDown, especially for a Fastlane period. I think once we get to like where it's building like straight towards Mania, I think it'll be better. But Fastlane, not that big of a fan of it. Um, Mania has to be good. Please don't screw this up. Well, WrestleMania 32 definitely was mediocre. WrestleMania 33, though, despite the only two matches that I didn't think were that great, Orton and Wyatt, which again I like the special effects. It's not that Orton won that made me upset, but it was just the fact that it just wasn't really that great a match. That feud kind of just fell apart. And I know the main event was just sad and really hard to watch as well. Everything else, I thought last year's best WrestleMania was good, was pretty good. I liked last year. She thought it was okay, not great. That's fine. She said, "Why does Raw have more pay-per-views than SmackDown Live?" They do. I have to look at the schedule again. I mean, I know the pay-per-view schedule is kind of like cutting back this year and a little strange, but I'll have to look at it again. She thinks Mania 32 is the worst she's ever seen. I mean, WrestleMania 32 to me will definitely be best remembered as for when the women's championship returned. But yeah, everything else was just not really that great. I'd say that was down there. WrestleMania 29 was kind of just there also. WrestleMania, to me, I watched WrestleMania. I watched all the WrestleManias this past October. WrestleMania 9 was not that great, but WrestleMania 27 also was another pretty bad WrestleMania. But yeah, who do you think is retiring soon? Probably Undertaker. I mean, if he isn't already. Hopefully not Paige, but if it's for her health, then I completely understand. Maybe Goldust. R-Truth, I don't know what the heck's going on with him. He disappeared after a feud with Goldust. That's fine me because I don't really like R-Truth. A couple more minutes here. Best Manias, in her opinion, she liked 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. Most of those weren't too bad. Goldust is done, man. I think he is too. I was somewhat digging him last year because I was enjoying those director's cut promos. Like literally, I was sitting down trying to think of an idea of how to impersonate those Goldust promos. Those director's cut promos. I really liked them. Then they just dropped the ball with it, and now he's just whatever. So, man. Yeah, R-Truth has not been seen since him and Goldust split and feuded. Let me see. 23 wasn't too bad. 24 I like. 25 could have been a little bit better, but it was still all right. 27 I honestly never liked 27. 28 I like. 29 was average. 30, despite not being the best one. I mean 29 despite not being the best one, it was all right. 30 to me. 30 still is my favorite personally. 31 was really good too. The XFL, Wiseman's bringing that back. It didn't work the first time, didn't last that long. I'm not going to watch it. Don't know what he's saying. 24 was major lit, especially for that Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels match. Definitely. That was definitely a great moment between those two as well. 21 was also really good too. I liked 21. 22 I feel like is a little underrated for what it is, but I like 22 also. 17 still the best. 19 was good. Trying to remember which one it was, 12 or 14 I remember I thought was also one kind of underrated. But yeah. Hopefully the XFL doesn't completely replace the WWE. I'd rather watch the WWE than the XFL, but with how bad the writing is these days, it would be scary to see that happen. But yeah, I guess while Lauren is getting her ask for questions for tonight, I'll get my plugs in and what's next coming for the channel as well. And so, as always, guys, if you enjoyed, Kane also retiring next year. I think Kane is pretty close to being done. Also, keep hearing rumors of him, running for mayor of for mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee. Also, so if he's doing that, I wish him the best of luck as well. I do hear he is, really a really strong political person as well. So hopefully, I hope he does, achieve that as well. I know Rhino's running for some political position there. What pay-per-view can I watch over and over? Let me see here. One I want to watch again is definitely SummerSlam 2013 because that one was awesome. I'm trying to think of a whole entire pay-per-view. Maybe Money in the Bank 2016, especially the second half. That was a good one. I'm trying to think of what other pay-per-views that I really, really enjoyed. Survivor Series 2014 wasn't too bad either with that main event. Trying to think. Elimination Chamber last year, that was awesome. Surprisingly, Great Balls of Fire was also pretty good last year, but don't use that name again. Yeah, she said Kane has had a great career. Time to hang up the boots, though, big man. Still love him, though. Yeah, Kane definitely had his great moments. I mean, within recent years, I feel like he hasn't been really hasn't really had a great direction as well, but he definitely is going to be well mentioned. He's definitely a future Hall of Famer. Same with the Big Show also. And Mark Henry also going to actually retire and not pull off another trick. But yeah, all right. So if Lauren has any more questions, again, let me get the plugs in now real quick. So again, if you guys enjoyed this review, and I know we talked a lot about other things as well, but once again, we have Lauren right here. I always ask good questions, and anybody else saw in the mighty, any of my other friends here on YouTube, I always do appreciate this discussion. So yeah, what are your thoughts on SmackDown Live? Yeah, I gave it a C+. I definitely enjoyed Raw a little bit, more this week in SmackDown. What grade would you give it? So, and what should do more? So leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And always be sure to please click that like button and subscribe to my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirborne93. If you need the link, it is down in the description below as well. Tomorrow I will be back here again doing my live NXT review. I will record and get the first episode of season 3 of Road to WrestleMania, which I'll talk more about my WrestleMania predictions and what I think is being set up so far for WrestleMania 34 down the line. A few other odds and ends. And then actually, since we just talked about some dream matches, I think I will do a live stream this Friday since I'm not doing anything. Another live stream this Friday, just talking about some of my dream matches as well. So if you want to come in and just, probably like something like 6 or 7 Friday evening or whatnot, and if you want to come in and just, share some of your dream matches as well, we can definitely discuss those as well. It'll be a lot of fun. Let me see here. Lauren has more stuff in the live chat. The pay-per-view I can watch over and over. SummerSlam 2011. That one was good too. I like that. WrestleMania 24. Royal Rumble 2007. Bragging Rights 2009. Survivor 2010. Elimination Chamber 2017. And Backlash 2007. Oh, Backlash 2016 also, that was a really good pay-per-view. I like that one. Mania 23 and Backlash 2008, SummerSlam 2013. Again, SummerSlam 2013 was a pay-per-view that got me to watch WWE full time. Raw 1000 or SmackDown Live 900. Probably Raw 1000, I'd say. That was definitely more memorable, I'd say. SmackDown Live 900 wasn't too bad either, but I'd say Raw 1000 definitely was better. Pretty sure I've been going on here for like almost over an hour, probably the longest SmackDown review I've ever done, but it's worth it. Raw 1000, yes. No, in Matt Hardy's voice, yes. I love Woken Matt Hardy. Hopefully he gets I completely lost my train of thought. Raw almost had that 2000 mark. Not sure what you mean by that, but take your word for it. Any more questions, Lauren? I'll give you probably just a couple more minutes, and I should probably check out because I gotta get to bed soon. I'm sorry I keep you over an hour. I know you're tired. I'll let you go. No, Lauren, it's completely fine. I understand, but I always want to answer your questions. I'll ever feel like you're keeping me you ever keep me from you ever keep me up? Definitely not. I mean, I don't usually go to bed this early anyways, but 2,000 episodes of Raw. Wonder what year that's going to be. Hopefully that'll be a lot better than Raw 25. Definitely hopefully better than Raw 25. All All right, well, I guess she's checking out. But yeah, thank you as always, Lauren, for tuning in. I always like answering your questions. So again, I will be live tomorrow for NXT. I'll upload a Road WrestleMania season 3 episode 1 tomorrow. I will do any odds and ends here and there that I also do on the channel. And then Friday I'll try to do a live stream just talking about some of my favorite dream matches as well. So that way you want to come in and chat with me up there as well. So you can do so. So yeah, once again, if you enjoyed this review, please hit the like, subscribe to my channel for more content to come as always. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. Again, the link down in the description below. And again, thank you to Lauren Hassan the Mighty for tuning into this review as always. So with that, I guess I will check out. So until then, guys, good night.